I'm out here looking like a damn fool doing a vlog. Well, today I was doing some house cleaning and I was hanging up some of my husband's clothes in the closet, and they came across this t-shirt and the tag said Hanes Beefy. And at first I just laughed, because they're calling the guy Beefy. And I thought, is that a derogatory statement to call a guy Beefy, or does he like to be called Beefy or Husky, or is that a positive thing to be called Beefy for a man, or a negative thing? I don't know. I know for a while there they were trying to raise women's self-esteem by doing, like if you were a size large, they would call you a petite. Because I remember for years my grandma was a size large, and then all of a sudden she was so happy one day she came home with a shirt and it said petite and it fit her. And I was like, wow, you're petite? But she hadn't lost any weight or anything, but you don't really want to say that. But I guess what they were doing, and sometimes maybe some people still do, is like if you're a size large, they'll call you a petite. If you're an extra large, they'll call you just a large or a medium or something like that. Which is kind of cool, to give women self-esteem. But what about the men? Going back to the men, do they like to be called beefy? Or is that derogatory? Because I was thinking to myself, well, they couldn't call a woman beefy. They couldn't say Hanes her way beefy, because she'd be insulted. Or you couldn't say Hanes her way heifer, because, again, the insulted thing, and I just started thinking a lot about different sizes, clothing sizes, names of clothing sizes. What's the real clothing size? I don't think anybody really knows what size they really are anymore with all these names that they're throwing out there. They're saying that you're a petite when you're a large. They're saying you're a medium when you're an extra large. I mean, it gets so confusing. I mean, I understand, you want to give self-esteem and stuff, and that's great. But but the trade-off is you don't really know what size you are. And maybe that's a good thing. Maybe we don't really need to know what size we are. We need to just feel comfortable in our own skin. And maybe that's why they call a large woman a petite, because it makes her feel good about herself. It gives her a little spring in her step. And what's wrong with that? And then I got to thinking about women's and men's underwear and how they're sized. And I started thinking, maybe men like Hanes Beefy. Maybe that makes them feel good about themselves. Maybe they like to be called Hanes Husky. But what about the undies for men? What do they like to be called, in that department? Hanes XLP extra large package. I'm sure all the guys would be buying that size, even if they weren't that size. I'm pretty sure if a man was buying some underwear, I don't think he'd want to be called a petite small package, or otherwise known as a PSP, petite small package. You don't really want that. I mean, let's say you really are, let's say you really are in a men's underwear, like a Hanes petite, and you wouldn't want to tell your friends about that. It's something you'd want to keep under wraps. You'd be talking with your friends at lunch table or something, being like, yeah, I just got a pair of that Hanes XXLP. And your friends, all the male friends would be going, yeah, we get those all the time. And really, they're hiding what size they really are in their shorts, nobody's going to do a spot check right there on the spot to see if you really are an XXLP. So yeah, it's kind of a funny thing. And so you just, I don't know. It was just kind of like a random thing that came about when I was doing housework today, and I just thought I'd share. And I'm doing it outdoors, and people are looking down at me like, is she crazy or what? Yeah, crazy. You got me. Thanks for joining me on Sue's Vlog and Vlog, where we get a little crazy and introspective here. Talk to you later. Bye-bye. Oh, and bye-bye. So the neighbor is looking at me like I'm crazy for vlogging outside.